Have you ever stopped to wonder if the people in your life truly value you? Not in their words, not in their promises, but through their actions? Sometimes the subtle signs are right in front of us, but we overlook them, leaving us in relationships that drain us instead of lifting us up. In this video, we're diving into the 8 behaviors of people who don't care about you. These behaviors might seem insignificant at first, but they can reveal a lack of genuine care and respect in your relationships. Stick around until the end, because we'll not only identify these red flags, but also share actionable steps to help you build meaningful, uplifting connections. Whether it's recognizing toxic patterns or learning how to establish healthier boundaries, the lessons in this video could transform how you approach your relationships. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I encourage you to click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated on all our latest content. Your support means a lot to us. If you find value in this video, please give it a thumbs up to help spread our message. I'm also eager to hear your thoughts on today's topic. If you enjoy the content, please comment 1 below. If it doesn't resonate with you, leave a 0 instead. Your feedback is crucial, as it helps me create better videos that align with your interests. Now let's get started. Lack of respect. Respect is the cornerstone of any meaningful relationship. It is the foundation upon which trust, understanding, and emotional connection are built. When respect is absent, the walls of a relationship begin to crumble, leaving cracks that expose indifference and neglect. People who fail to respect you often reveal their disregard in subtle yet profound ways, from dismissing your opinions to trivializing your emotions and trampling over your boundaries. When your opinions are ignored or brushed aside as though they hold no value, it sends a disheartening message. Your voice does not matter. This isn't just a simple disagreement. It's a deeper indication that your thoughts and perspectives are unimportant to the other person. Respect isn't about agreeing with every word someone says, but about honoring their right to be heard. Similarly, belittling your emotions is another clear sign of disrespect. Emotions are an integral part of who we are. They make us human. However, when someone minimizes your feelings or mocks your emotional responses, they strip away your dignity. This belittling behavior makes you question whether your feelings are justified or whether you're being overly sensitive. True respect involves holding space for another person's emotions, even if you don't fully understand or share them. Without that, no genuine connection can flourish. Bookmark. Disregarding boundaries is perhaps the most blatant form of disrespect. Boundaries are a reflection of self-worth. They define what you are willing to accept and what you are not. When someone ignores those boundaries, they aren't just crossing a line. They're undermining the very essence of who you are. Respect means acknowledging and honoring these limits, even when it's inconvenient. A person who doesn't care about you will prioritize their own desires over your well-being, blatantly disregarding your boundaries. The consequences of a lack of respect can be devastating. Communication breaks down, leaving both parties feeling unheard and undervalued. For the person on the receiving end, it often results in emotional exhaustion, diminished self-esteem, and a loss of confidence. Over time, these effects can erode the trust and connection that once held the relationship together. Recognizing the signs of disrespect is not only an act of self-awareness, but also a declaration of self-worth. You deserve to be treated with dignity and honor. Your voice deserves to be heard, your feelings deserve acknowledgement, and your boundaries deserve respect. Accepting anything less only diminishes your value. It's crucial to remember that you cannot force someone to respect you. If they repeatedly show a lack of care or disregard for your worth, it's not your duty to make them see it. Instead, it's your responsibility to protect your peace by walking away. The relationships that truly matter are those where respect is given freely and consistently. As you reflect on the importance of respect, consider this: the people who genuinely care for you will demonstrate it through their actions. They will listen to your thoughts, validate your emotions, and honor your boundaries without hesitation. Choose these relationships and let go of those that fall short. Transitioning to the next aspect of care, respect and presence often go hand in hand. A lack of one often signals a lack of the other. Let's explore how consistent absence can further reveal the true priorities in a relationship. 2. Consistent absence. Presence is one of the simplest yet most powerful ways to show care. It doesn't require grand gestures or elaborate declarations. Instead, it's about being there when it truly matters, standing alongside someone through the highs and lows of life. When someone consistently fails to be present, either emotionally or physically, it sends a clear message about their priorities. When faced with challenges, the presence of those who care makes all the difference. It's not about solving problems or offering perfect advice. It's about standing by someone as they navigate their struggles. However, those who don't genuinely care will always have an excuse. They'll prioritize other matters over being there when you need them most, leaving you feeling unsupported and overlooked. This absence isn't always physical. Emotional absence can be even more painful. It manifests in detached responses when you pour your heart out, in the silence that follows when you share something important, or in the indifference you sense when seeking connection. Someone who genuinely cares may not always fully understand what you're going through, but they make an effort to be emotionally present. They listen, empathize, and reassure. In contrast, consistent absence reveals indifference disguised as busyness. Life can be demanding, and everyone has responsibilities. However, true care is reflected in priorities. Someone who values you will make time even during their busiest moments. They'll show up not because it's convenient, but because you matter to them. Inconsistent presence, on the other hand, communicates a painful truth. Everything else is more important than you. Recognizing consistent absence isn't about judging someone's character. It's about valuing your own worth. You deserve relationships where presence is a given, where care is demonstrated through actions, and where you're not left wondering where you stand. Excuses cannot fill the void of someone's absence or heal the emotional wounds caused by neglect. This void can be deeply isolating, leaving you feeling unseen and unworthy of attention. It robs you of the comfort and assurance that come from having someone you can count on. Yet, acknowledging this behavior is the first step to reclaiming your emotional well-being. It's a reminder that your time and energy are precious and should be invested in relationships where care flows freely and consistently. Let their absence be a lesson. It's a reflection of their priorities, not your value. Don't waste your life waiting for someone who has already shown they won't be there. Instead, make space for those who will. True care is demonstrated in presence, not promises. As we move forward, let's explore another aspect of strained relationships: self-centeredness. When someone's focus revolves entirely around their own needs, it creates a dynamic where genuine connection cannot thrive. 3. Self-centeredness. True connection in a relationship is built on balance, a mutual exchange of care, energy, and understanding. When this balance is disrupted by self-centered behavior, the relationship becomes one-sided, leaving one person drained while the other takes without giving. Self-centeredness reveals itself in the constant focus on personal needs, desires, and interests, often at the expense of others. A self-centered person expects your attention when they need it, your support when they're struggling, and your energy when they feel drained. However, when the roles are reversed and you need them to show up, their response is often lukewarm or non-existent. Their actions communicate a clear message: it's about me. This dynamic leaves you feeling unseen and undervalued, as your needs and feelings are pushed aside to cater to theirs. Over time, this imbalance becomes exhausting. Imagine pouring into a cup that never gives back. Your energy depletes, your well runs dry, and yet the demands for more persist. Relationships, whether friendships, partnerships, or even professional connections, are not meant to be one-sided. They are designed to uplift and energize both parties, not to burden one while enabling the other. What makes self-centeredness especially disheartening is how it's often masked. People with these tendencies may use charm or superficial gestures to create an illusion of care. Yet, their true nature emerges over time. Their questions revolve around their stories, their actions cater to their convenience, and their care is conditional, offered only when it serves their interests. This pattern isn't merely a matter of oversight. It's a deliberate prioritization of their comfort over the relationship's balance. It's essential to recognize that self-centered behavior is not about you, it's about them. Their inability to prioritize your needs or invest equally in the relationship is a reflection of their choices, not their worth. You are not a resource to be exploited or a supporting character in their story. You are the main character in your life, deserving of relationships that are reciprocal, where giving and receiving are in harmony. Walking away from self-centered relationships is not an act of bitterness, but one of clarity and self-respect. Surround yourself with those who see you, value your needs, and are willing to give as much as they receive. These are the connections that energize and uplift you, that allow you to grow and thrive. As we continue exploring the dynamics of relationships, another key factor comes into play: support. A lack of support in challenging times can be just as damaging as self-centered behavior. Let's delve into how support, or the absence of it, shapes the quality of our connections. 4. Lack of support. Support is the cornerstone of any meaningful connection. It's not about solving someone else's problems or always having the perfect advice. True support lies in being there, standing by someone's side, and offering encouragement when it's needed most. When support is absent, it leaves a void that undermines trust, care, and emotional security within a relationship. The lack of support often manifests in subtle yet telling ways. When someone you care about consistently fails to encourage you, uplift you, or stand with you during difficult times, it becomes evident that their priorities lie elsewhere. Their absence, whether emotional or physical, can make you feel as though your struggles are insignificant or unworthy of attention. Support doesn't require grand gestures. Sometimes it's as simple as listening with empathy, acknowledging someone's efforts, or offering a kind word of encouragement. When someone withholds even these basic forms of support, it speaks volumes about their level of care or lack thereof. They may disappear when times get tough, offer indifference when you reach out for encouragement, or remain silent when you need a shoulder to lean on. The absence of support isn't always a mistake. Often, it's a choice. It reflects where you stand in their life. While life's responsibilities can be demanding, genuine care is shown through priorities. Those who truly value you will make the effort to show up, not just during the good times, but especially when the road gets tough. Their actions will say, "You matter to me," rather than leaving you to wonder where you stand. A lack of support creates emotional isolation. It leaves you feeling unseen, as though your efforts, challenges, and feelings don't matter. This emotional void can be draining, robbing you of the confidence and strength needed to move forward. Yet, recognizing this absence is the first step toward reclaiming your worth. You deserve relationships where support is a given, not an exception. Surround yourself with people who lift you up when you're down, who believe in you when you doubt yourself, and who remind you of your strength when the weight of life feels heavy. These connections fuel your spirit and inspire you to keep going, even when the odds feel stacked against you. Let go of relationships where support is consistently missing. Don't waste your time waiting for someone who has already shown you that they won't be there. Instead, make space for those who choose to show up, time and time again. As we move forward, let's explore another behavior that can deeply undermine relationships: relentless criticism. When words are used not to build but to tear down, they leave wounds that are difficult to heal. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. 5. Constant criticism. Words have an undeniable power. They can uplift, inspire, and strengthen bonds, but they can also wound, diminish, and destroy. When someone's words are filled with relentless criticism rather than constructive feedback, it's a clear indicator of a lack of care and respect. Constant criticism isn't about helping you grow. It's about undermining your confidence and sense of self-worth. Constructive feedback comes from a place of genuine care. It aims to guide and encourage, offering insights that help you improve while acknowledging your potential. In contrast, relentless criticism is rooted in negativity, often designed to keep you small. It focuses on your perceived flaws, not because they require correction, but because the critic often seeks to assert dominance or elevate themselves at your expense. This behavior can manifest in various ways. It might be a dismissive remark when you share an idea, a sarcastic comment that undercuts your excitement, or unkind words cloaked in the guise of honesty. Over time, these small acts of criticism accumulate, chipping away at your self-esteem and making you question your worth. Even when you know you have every reason to feel confident, the persistent negativity can create self-doubt. However, constant criticism reveals more about the critic than it does about you. Those who truly care about you don't weaponize your insecurities or magnify your mistakes. Instead, they offer support, encouragement, and reminders of your value. They understand that their words hold power and choose to use that power thoughtfully, to nurture rather than harm. People who criticize relentlessly often mask their behavior under the pretense of being honest or realistic. But their need to point out flaws isn't a reflection of their shortcomings, it's often a projection of their insecurities. By focusing on what they perceive as wrong in you, they distract themselves from addressing their own vulnerabilities. Recognizing relentless criticism for what it truly is, a lack of a car, is a step toward reclaiming your confidence. You are not defined by the negativity of others, and you are not obligated to accept their damaging words as truth. Set boundaries to protect your peace and limit the influence of such voices in your life. Surround yourself with people who choose their words with intention, aiming to uplift and inspire rather than tear down. The relationships you nurture should be ones where constructive feedback helps you grow and destructive criticism has no place. These are the connections that reinforce your sense of self-worth and remind you of your inherent value. As we reflect on the impact of constant criticism, it's important to recognize another deeply damaging behavior: betrayal of trust. Trust is the foundation of all meaningful relationships, and when it is broken, the effects can be devastating. Let's explore this critical aspect of care and connection next. 6. Betrayal of trust. Trust is the foundation upon which all meaningful relationships are built. It is an unspoken agreement that says, "You can rely on me, and I will honor and protect the bond we share." Without trust, relationships become fragile, susceptible to doubt, disappointment, and eventual collapse. When someone betrays your trust, whether through repeated broken promises, deceit, or boundary violations, it reveals a profound lack of regard for you and the connection you share. Promises are more than just words. They are commitments that carry the weight of integrity. When someone values you, they honor their promises, not out of obligation, but because they respect you and the relationship. However, when promises are consistently broken, it sends a clear and painful message. Your time, expectations, and trust are not priorities to them. A broken promise isn't just a small disappointment, it fractures the foundation of trust and leaves lasting scars. Lies are another form of betrayal that can be deeply damaging. Even the smallest lies chip away at the bond of honesty, creating cracks that grow over time. Deceit erodes the authenticity of the relationship, leaving you questioning every word, action, and intention. Trust cannot coexist with dishonesty. It requires truth as its foundation. Actions that betray trust often go beyond words. They are choices that disregard the sacred bond of care and respect within a relationship. Whether it's sharing something you confided in them, ignoring your boundaries, or prioritizing their self-interest over your well-being, these betrayals are not simply mistakes. They are conscious decisions that devalue the relationship and the care it once held. The aftermath of betrayal can be devastating. It forces you to question not only the other person's integrity, but also your own judgment in trusting them. The wound left by betrayal may heal over time, but it often leaves a scar, a reminder of the pain and the lesson learned. However, it's crucial to remember that someone else's betrayal is not a reflection of your worth. Their actions speak to their inability to honor the trust you extended to them, not to your value as a person. Understanding betrayal for what it is, a lack of care, is an act of self-respect. It's a reminder that you deserve better. Relationships where trust is cherished and protected. Trust is not something to be given lightly, and when it is broken repeatedly, it's a sign to reevaluate the relationship. Rebuilding trust, if at all possible, requires time, consistent actions, and genuine remorse. However, sometimes the best path forward is to walk away and redirect your trust toward relationships that value it, as the priceless gift it is. 7. Inconsistent effort. Effort is the unspoken language of care. It's not defined by grand gestures or sweeping declarations, but by small, consistent actions that demonstrate the value of a relationship. When someone truly cares, their effort is steady, intentional, and persistent. However, when effort becomes inconsistent, it creates a void of uncertainty and doubt, signaling that the connection may not hold the same importance for both parties. A meaningful relationship is built over time, requiring attention, energy, and intentionality from both sides. When one person's effort fluctuates without explanation, appearing only when it's convenient and disappearing when things require work, it sends a clear message that their commitment is shallow at best. The imbalance in effort can take many forms: unanswered messages, missed calls, broken promises, or repeatedly canceled plans. These behaviors gradually erode trust and emotional intimacy. Inconsistent effort leaves you feeling as though you're the only one carrying the weight of the relationship. You become the one who constantly reaches out, plans meetings, or nurtures the bond, while the other person remains passive. This dynamic is not only exhausting, but also disheartening. Relationships thrive when care flows both ways. When it doesn't, the connection becomes fragile, incapable of sustaining its foundation. True care is shown in the ability to show up, not just in moments of convenience, but especially in times of need. It's about being present for the highs and lows, offering support during challenges, and celebrating successes together. When effort is genuine and consistent, it creates a sense of security and strengthens the bond between two people. On the other hand, inconsistent effort introduces doubt, leaving you questioning the other person's sincerity and role in your life. Recognizing the signs of inconsistent effort is essential for protecting your emotional well-being. You deserve relationships where effort is mutual, where your energy and commitment are met with the same dedication. These are the connections that energize and inspire you, that reinforce your sense of self-worth, and remind you of the value you bring to the table. If someone consistently fails to invest effort into maintaining the relationship, it's an invitation to reassess their place in your life. Surround yourself with people who value you enough to bring their full presence and intentionality, not just fragments of their time. As we consider the impact of inconsistent effort, it's vital to address a related issue that often undermines relationships: emotional manipulation. Manipulation disguises itself as care, but is rooted in control and deceit. Let's examine this harmful behavior and how to recognize and overcome it. 8. Emotional manipulation. True care uplifts, nurtures, and protects. It never seeks to control or exploit. Emotional manipulation, however, is the opposite of care. It's a calculated behavior rooted in selfishness and deceit, where someone uses your emotions as tools to serve their own interests. This isn't love, support, or friendship. It's control disguised as concern. Emotional manipulators are skilled at distorting reality to suit their agenda. They may use your kindness, empathy, or trust as weapons against you. Often, they position themselves as victims, making you feel guilty or obligated to prioritize their needs. They may exaggerate their struggles, subtly imply their actions are inadequate, or create conflicts only to present themselves as the solution. Their tactics are designed to keep you off balance, questioning your actions and intentions while they quietly pull the strings. At first, manipulation can be subtle. They might shower you with affection or compliments, building your trust and connection. Once that trust is established, the patterns emerge. They begin with holding affection to make you seek their approval. They may frame their sacrifices as monumental to make you feel indebted, or use flattery strategically to deflect accountability. Each move is deliberate, aimed at gaining control over your emotions and decisions. The most insidious aspect of emotional manipulation is its ability to make you doubt yourself. You may sense something is wrong, but find yourself second-guessing your instincts. Their words convince you that you're overreacting or being unfair. Over time, this self-doubt erodes your confidence, leaving you more reliant on their validation and less trusting of your own judgment. Recognizing emotional manipulation is an act of self-respect. It's about understanding that your emotions are not tools for someone else's benefit. They are part of your humanity and a source of your strength. When someone twists your feelings for their advantage, It reveals a lack of genuine care and respect. Breaking free from emotional manipulation requires rebuilding trust in yourself. Set boundaries to protect your emotional well-being and distance yourself from those who seek to exploit your kindness. Surround yourself with people who value your emotions not as leverage, but as an essential part of who you are. True care is never manipulative. It empowers and supports you without seeking anything in return. As we move toward the final section, it's time to shift the focus back to you. Let's explore how you can take charge of your relationships and become the architect of the connections you want to nurture in your life. 9. You are the architect of your relationships. Your relationships are a direct reflection of how you value yourself. Each connection you nurture is an opportunity to either enrich your life or drain your spirit. Recognizing this truth is the first step toward reclaiming control over the relationships you choose to keep. You are not a passive participant. You are the architect of your relationships, with the power to shape them in ways that honor your worth and aspirations. Building meaningful connections begins with self-awareness. Take a step back and observe the behaviors of those around you. Do they uplift you or weigh you down? Are their actions consistent with their words? The answers to these questions reveal whether a relationship is built on genuine care or hollow gestures. By identifying these patterns, you empower yourself to set boundaries and prioritize connections that nurture your well-being. Boundaries are not walls. They are bridges to healthier relationships. They define what you will and won't accept, sending a clear message about your expectations for mutual respect and trust. Setting boundaries isn't about shutting people out. It's about creating space for relationships that align with your values and encourage your growth. When you honor your boundaries, you remind both yourself and others of your inherent worth. Your time and energy are precious. Where you choose to invest them shapes the quality of your life. By letting go of relationships that diminish your light, you create room for those who genuinely care and are willing to show it through consistent actions. Surrounding yourself with people who value you for who you are, not what you can offer, leads to connections that inspire, energize, and sustain you. The journey to building meaningful relationships is a deeply personal one. It's about choosing companions who celebrate your victories, stand by you in challenges, and share in your dreams. These are the people who see you fully, respect your boundaries, and contribute to your sense of fulfillment. As you step forward, take this message with you. Your worth is not determined by the opinions of others, but by the value you place on yourself. When you demand respect, trust, and care in your relationships, you elevate not only those connections, but also your life. Refuse to settle for anything less than what you deserve, because what you deserve is everything good, honest, and true. If this journey resonates with you, embrace it as an ongoing process of self-discovery and intentionality. Your relationships have the power to shape your world, and by taking charge of them, you build a life that reflects your highest potential. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might benefit from this topic. Have any thoughts or personal experiences to share? Drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you haven't already, click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to join our community for more empowering content. Thank you for watching, and until next time, embrace the journey with confidence.